In today's video, I will show you how to start investing in Pokemon cards, so one day you can have a collection that is actually worth a fortune. If you think you need a lot of money to start or just some crazy stock market knowledge, you couldn't be farther from the truth. Investing in Pokemon cards is actually an easy task that anyone can do with as little as $5. When you're done watching this video, you will have all the knowledge you need to start. The first question you need to answer yourself before investing any amount of money is, why will you do it? Will you do it for fun? Will you do it just purely to make money, or ideally both? Now, this question is really important and you should really sit down 2 minutes and ask yourself this, because the strategies will change a lot depending on the answer. It's true that investing in Pokemon can be really profitable and it has shown this data on the past, but I have to tell you that if you're here just for the money, I wouldn't recommend it. You will have to learn some basic tips, so it's not a difficulty thing, but it has some problems down the road if you don't love Pokemon, if you don't enjoy the pure thing of buying, trading, selling, shipping. If you don't enjoy these little things, it will make it really hard for you to stick with it in the future. So if you're here purely for money, I would recommend moving to stocks or crypto, something like more easy. Not easy in terms of knowledge, but easy in terms of handling the money. But if you're like me or like part of this community who actually like collecting Pokemon and also like making money out of it, you're in the right place and you will really enjoy this video. And what better way to start your investing journey or your collection than with this Lost Origin sealed booster box that I'm giving away completely for free. The only requirements you need to enter are to be subscribed, to leave a like on this video and leave a comment down below. Now, the second question you will have to answer yourself is, what's your budget? And this is really important because it really changes the strategies, and you don't have to feel bad if you don't have much budget or you just don't want to spend a lot of money in this. As I said at the beginning, you don't need a lot of money to start. I will talk about different budget ranges and what products would I actually buy with that ranges. If your budget is from $5 to $20, what I would recommend is buying one or multiple sleeve packs. To choose the collection you will buy them from, I would recommend searching for your set on Google and watch how the cards inside are doing. Is there a really expensive card? Multiple decent price cards? Ideally both. Look for different sets that fit your budget and buy some sleeve boosters of that specific set. If you have more than $15 available, what I would recommend is buying a 3-pack blister of the same set you just looked for. If you're in this hobby for fun, you can invest in some rare card or of that given price range. But you always make sure to check multiple websites for the price and last sales in portals like eBay or card market prices if you're in Europe. The reason we buy these sleeve boosters or maybe 3-pack blisters is pretty simple. These packs cannot be altered in any way. We've known for the last years a lot of packs have been resealed, weighted, manipulated, and this way it's a really easy way to avoid that, and especially if you're starting your journey, I would really recommend to stick on this instead of loose boosters that are just packs without any sealing above. If your budget is from $40 to $60, what I would recommend is find yourself a nice Elite Trainer box, or what we call in short ETB. If you can afford the $10 extra and you live in the US, I would really recommend going for the Pokemon Center version of the ETBs. They are more exclusive and tend to perform slightly better than regular ETBs. Now, this happens because when you buy the Pokemon Center version, the promo card that comes inside of the ETB, which is a free card that just the product is giving you that card guaranteed. The thing is, with the Pokemon Center ETVs, you will have a small Pokeball patch on the card. This looks like, it can sound silly, but this really increases the price of that cards, and that cards on a PSA 10, when they are graded and you get lucky to get a nice grade, they go for a lot of money, so it's really worth it. Now, we buy ETBs because buying a single product instead of multiple of the blisters or sleeve pack we discussed before will save yourself shipping cost and a lot of time in the future when you decide to sell the product. And they perform quite similar to the others. If your budget is around $100, just get yourself a booster box. Booster boxes are the most common and best performing sealed product available, and these items are the most popular because they have the most amount of packs. They contain a total of 36 packs and are only available in what we call main sets. Again, check yourself which set you think has the most amount of value inside. The easiest way to do this is to add the 10 or 20 most expensive cards of the set. This will give you a pretty solid idea on which set is better and more desired than the others. You have 2 links in the description that will display all the card prices inside of a set, so you can check it yourself. If you have more than $100 to invest, no matter if it's sporadic or in a regular basis, you can adjust your budget with the 3 things we have discussed. I will give you 2 pro tips here. Booster boxes are always the better product, and if you're able to order 6 of them together of the same collection, you will most likely get a sealed case that will add some value to your investment for the simple simple fact of being factory sealed. The reason is when booster boxes came out of cases are considered fresh and have a way better shape than handled booster boxes, they also pay a premium whether you decide to sell the whole case or them individually in the future. Another question you will need to answer yourself is if you like to invest in sealed Pokemon product or just in Pokemon single cards. Now, sealed product has performed better over the years and has proven itself to be the better option if you're looking money-wise. You have to think that there's always this hype to open the specific product which adds value to the specific item, and with sealed products you have always the possibility to try your luck and open them to chase some cards in the future. It might be more boring than collecting Pokemon cards itself, but you have to think that over the last 25 years there's not a single booster box that has gone down in price. Not one. Even the worst sets in history have more than doubled in price just over the years. Some of them tanked for a bit, were at losses for maybe some months, but at the long term, if you look at the grand scheme of things, they were really great performers, even the worst sets that came out. On the other hand, with single Pokemon cards, this is really more fun than the other product. Now, a lot of people want to just complete a master set, which means collecting every single card a set has inside, and that's a really fun thing to do. I can tell you from experience, and if you ask anyone in the community that has done it, the chase is real, you look after the cards, you trade, you talk with a lot of people in the community. It's really fun. They are also great for display. They are actually the main reason why sealed product is so expensive. It's because these chase cards that are actually out of print and from sets that Pokemon is not printing anymore, they have something special because you have the chance of still kind of pursuing that card you always wanted, and that's the reason they increase in price so heavily in the future. The problem with single Pokemon cards is pretty simple, and it's that they are so volatile. Now, if you look at historical data for this price of these big chase cards, maybe from the Sword and Shield era or back to Sun and Moon, you can see that the graphic is pretty crazy. Like, the prices are swinging so much. You can make a lot of money if you time the market correctly, but you can also lose a lot of money with it. We've seen cards double in price in 2 or 3 months, which is something pretty crazy and that don't usually happen with sealed product. This is why all the Pokemon YouTubers or investors that talk about this always recommend sealed product, because it's actually a better way to invest itself. If you don't like the collecting part, it's not even a question, just buy sealed product. But if you like the collecting part, I understand your concern and wanting to buy these expensive chase cards and wanting to make money out of them, but you have to really consider this. It's not a gambling, but it's definitely a risky investment. So if you have to diversify your money, I would say put almost all your money in sealed product. This if you're looking to invest, and then if you have some more money you can invest, you have some spared money, you can just buy singles you like. Of course, if you buy cheap singles, I don't see the problem. I think they are pretty free to invest in, since cards that are $5 to $10, even if they tank, you will lose $2 to $3, which is something so affordable for almost all of us. And the problem is when you buy these big chase cards that are maybe worth $300 or $400, and if you tank at 25% on that buy, $100 can be really painful for a lot of us, like losing $100 in a month for a single card that you bought. Not something you take well, so I would really be skeptical about it. If your intention is actually to purchase something from Pokemon and just hold it for a lot of years, I will always recommend sealed product, since they have proven that they don't go down if you wait a certain amount of years. But cards can actually go down even after a lot of years when they are out of print. If people lose interest on that specific cards, money usually moves. The alternative arts from the Sword and Shield era were so popular, then they crashed, they were popular again. But if you're in between these, that money can really affect your wallet. So think about it. If a collection of cards, or if chase cards from Sword and Shield are so popular and so hot right now, and they go for crazy amounts of money and they increase 50% in 3 or 6 months, now everyone is talking about them and money is flowing into them, but then money will flow to other things and they will actually lose value. What usually happens with sealed product though is that they increase in price when they are a hot topic and people talk about them, like the Sword and Shield era, but when people shift to another era or just lose interest, sealed product doesn't go down, because sealed product is this constant thing, this constant item that always have sales, there's always people that want the product, so the lowest price items listed will always be bought. So you have this situation where you have a really nice chase card that is worth $200. Money flows into it because it's a popular thing, but then money flows into another chase card and that card will lose value. But with the booster box it's kind of different, because money will flow into this booster box, the booster box will increase its price from 150 to 200, let's say, and it will just stay stable on that price. It's really not likely that it comes down to 150, and if it does, usually it just takes like 3, 4, 5, 10 booster boxes bought, that this can happen in a single day to get back to 200. Finally, let's discuss the good and the bad things about investing in Pokemon cards. Let's start with 3 hard truths about investing in Pokemon products that almost no one talks about, but they are really important and we need to discuss them right now. The first one is that selling and shipping products can be a hassle and really pricey if we talk about large amount of products. The second one is that they are not liquid as stocks or crypto, where you can just sell it and get your money back super fast. You have to actually list it, someone has to buy it. Even if you put it at under the market price, it won't take long to sell a good sealed product or a good card, but it's still not as liquid as stocks or crypto, where you can just 2 clicks and everything is sold, you have your money in your wallet or your bank account. And the third thing, which is the hard reality no one wants to talk about, is that when you open a sealed product, where you open a pack, booster box, a blister, you lose money. What I mean by this is that the value you will get in cards is most likely gonna be less than the sealed product. Not only that, but the sealed product is really easier to sell than the single card. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, and maybe it's a forbidden sentence, and guys, I'm just telling you, like, this is the truth. I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I'm not saying this for you to not open any Pokemon products. Like, I open a lot of packs and I actually invest in a lot of packs too, so there's no problem about that. But I just want you to know it, because I don't want you to start with this 5 to 10 budget range, start investing and just getting your collection going and starting your sealed big collection. And I don't want you to get into a point that you have like $200 in sealed product. Maybe it took you 1 year or 2 years to get all of that together, and now instead of 200 it's worth $350 and you're so happy about it, and I could open it and try, right? Not really. Like, you can get lucky and get a card, single card that is worth more than all your collection, but that's not the most likely thing. Now, I like comparing this to lottery because it's not really the same, because this is like more of a kid's game and a hobby, and we have a community building up here, and it's really not the same. But this is the hard truth. If you open a sealed product, 90+% of the times you will not get your money back. And that is not a problem, because it is still fun. It's not something bad to do. I'm just saying that if you're investing and you're focused on doing money with these products, I wouldn't recommend opening them, for real. If you want to open packs, for sure the best moment is at release, when the singles are still hot and people are trying to complete their sets. So singles are actually in the top of the price chart probably. Most of single cards, when a set releases after 1 or 2 months, prices of the cards inside of the set will drop. So if you want to open it and you want to do it the smart way, let's say, maybe this is not fun, like, okay, there's no need for you to do it. I'm just telling you that if you want to do it the fun way and being a bit smart, open them at release. And if you want to sell the singles later or just want to keep the singles, that's up to you. But the more vintage and expensive a sealed product gets, the higher it is for you to get back on your returns. Like, it gets really, really hard when a booster box is $700, $800. It gets really hard to be able to get this money back. Usually you have to pull a good card, but not only that, but send it to grading, and the grading, it has to be a 10 for you to get your money back. So it's really risky. I'm just saying, it's just still fun. This is just informative. But now, enough talking about the bad things, and let's talk about the good things that there is in Pokemon investing. Let's talk about 3, but they are really good too. So don't get focused just on the negative things I just told you, because I think good things weigh more than the bad things. So the first one is that you can get really high returns if done well. Now, certain Pokemon products have performed really, really, really better than a lot of stock market like companies or the S&P 500 itself, a lot of well-known crypto. Some Pokemon products have beaten that. I'm not saying you're guaranteed to do that by any means, because sometimes it's a bit random whether the Pokemon company decides to print a set a lot or just to not print it as much, depending on the economical situation. But I think you get the point. You can make a lot of money if you do this right. The second one, it's so much fun if you like Pokemon. If you actually like collecting, investing is super fun. Like, I don't mind having, you can see all these sealed booster boxes. I have plenty of sealed product, and I think it's fun. For me, it's fun. Even not opening the sealed product, I find enjoyment in that. So I think this is a big important thing, that you actually enjoy the process. If you're investing in something for a decade or more than a decade, you better enjoy it, right? Because it will make you miserable to not enjoy it. So this is a really, really big point. Something that we've discussed before in this video is that we have proven historical data that supports these investments. Like, we're not just gambling our money. I'm not saying that Pokemon in 50 years can crash and go to zero. I find that really difficult, and I don't think that will be the case at all. But what I'm saying is that we have more than 25 years of data of actual products like going up in price steadily, and we see a lot of market cycles inside Pokemon too, and things that have happened in the past and people don't know how to react. But if you have been in this hobby for long enough, you can see that, yeah, this is what happened 5 years ago with this era or this set, the other set. So we have proven data, and this is actually important, because the same you wouldn't invest in a crypto or a company without looking at the performance they did in the last 5 to 10 years, you shouldn't do it here either. And you can check by yourself. You can see all the booster boxes, find sets that are old, look at the graph and how they increase steadily in price. They have their drops in bad moments and bad Pokemon market cycles, but on the long term, they perform really well. And this is really important if you're looking to park a decent amount of money. And finally, the last good thing, but it's actually the best, is that this community is just amazing. You see, I started this channel a few months ago, and 99% of the feedback is just positive. And people are really kind to each other. They discuss in the comment section, they talk about a lot of things, and I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you for that. And the thing is, when you build a good community, when you have something joining in, it finds a really good space to be, and that's pretty important for all of you who are starting now, even it's collecting or investing. Like, I think it's good to have a clear path and community that you can just not be judged by not knowing something or being toxic and calling everyone a scammer and whatever. There's always this 1% toxic people. Just avoid that, because that's pure noise. Honestly, that's noise. That's 1%. Like, just ignore these bad comments and you will actually really enjoy it. The community is amazing. I've seen it. I mean, you could say I have a community myself, and this community is amazing. Like, everyone is super nice to each other. I really like it, and I think you will like it too. I think you give it a try, you watch some other YouTubers, you will really enjoy it. You can see in the comment section, everyone just talking and discussing. This set is really good, and I think this set will perform better, and I really think you will enjoy it. And I'm big part of why I'm here is for that. And the last point I will make on this video, but a really important one, is that you have to be here to enjoy it. Now, you see, there's nothing wrong about making money and wanting to make money, but there are millions of ways of making money. And I think if you're here is for a reason, because you start investing in Pokemon mainly because you like Pokemon at least at some degree. So I would really recommend to enjoy your journey, for real. I think in this space, most of the investors are collectors too, myself included. And I think we should keep the community united like that, because you see, when a good set releases, both collectors and investors are both happy. Investors think, okay, I'm gonna keep this sealed and make this amount of money. Collectors say, okay, I'm gonna open a lot of packs and try to pull this card I love and try to complete the master set and trade with this. I'll go to this event and start trading the cards I pull, and I have like multiple copies of them. So I think we should like respect each other. Talking about from both points, we should respect each other. We should be really kind, and we can get along well, for sure. With both collectors and investors can get along well. I know there were some moral problems from collectors to investors, which I completely understand, but I think we can get along well. I think you should really try it yourself and try to enter the community. You don't need a lot of money. Just spend $5 and ask someone, hey, how did I do? Ask on Reddit, whatever. I think you will love it. This is all I have. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to enter the giveaway, and as always, have a great day.